Best dietary behavior with easy steps. Modifying dietary behavior. If you make the decision to lose weight and follow a low-calorie diet, you have to be filled with the will to repel stimuli that may increase the amount of food intake depend sort as well as the quality of food, so you should follow a healthy dietary behavior. When a person is forced to change the behavior of food, he must necessarily change his general behavior during the day by following healthy lifestyles, such as staying away from sleep for more than 8 hours continuous, drinking water in the required amount per day, as well as walking for an hour a day. Tips for changing dietary behavior. There are a range of tips that have achieved many successes to change food behavior easily without any difficulties, including the following. Allocation of a dining room to transform the food experience from unhealthy to healthy by allocating a room in the house for food only and free of television, newspapers or books, where one activity is enough to talk to someone else, as it is preferable that room is far from the kitchen as well as free of any other type of food except what man eats. Hunger dispensing with the idea of eating in order to fill free time or feeling bored, where food should be eaten only when feeling hungry, as well as doctors recommend that there be certain specific times during which meals are eaten. Snacks. If you are hungry between the 3 main meals, you should give up the idea of fatty foods, sweets or even juices, preferably eating whole fruits of vegetables and fruits with low calories as fruit of apples, peaches, pears or vegetables such as cucumbers or carrots, and if you do not feel hungry, preferably don't eat anything and drink water only between meals. Dining while doing tasks. Some people eat while doing other activities such as watching TV, working on the computer or driving, all of which are very bad. If it is difficult for you to carry out this step, can replace fatty foods with vegetables, fruits, popcorn or low-calorie foods. Thermal contains natural fiber for a sense of satiety. Stay away from mental disorders. Distance from loneliness and depression as well as anxiety and stress, because all of these conditions can open a bout of open appetite to food as a kind of escape from this sad feeling. Reward. The method of reward can always be followed to give the desired self as well as protect the will and stimulate it in order to follow a healthier dietary behavior and lose weight. Should not link the food and the reward, where the reward is preferred to be a trip or something material or anything else away from food. Exercise. Exercises and regularity, especially after meals, helps to lose weight more quickly, as it curbs appetite and regulates the body's biology during the day, so it is preferable to exercise at least once a day for half an hour or even regular exercise twice a week for a period of time. 2 hours straight. Behavior required before and during meals. Drinking water. It is always preferable to drink a glass of water or eat a plate of salad about 15 minutes before food, because this behavior helps to feel partial satiety and inhibits the open appetite, as it also reduces the amount of food eaten in one meal. Replace the spoon with a fork. Experts and doctors recommend eating with a fork and not a spoon, because that sock works to reduce the amount of food that enters the mouth in each bite, and with time the amount of food received by the ginseng in one meal decreases. Distance from fats and sugars. The proportion of artistic foods with fat and calories as well as sugars should be reduced as much as possible, and gradually and over time they are completely abandoned in meals or even in snacks that are among the 3 main meals. Breakfast is essential. Nutritionists and doctors always recommend eating breakfast with never neglected, with the need to be a full meal of nutrients, and can eat any kind of sugars, especially in the morning, with the need for a moderate lunch and a very light dinner. It should be noted that the previous system helped people lose from 3 kilos to 5 kilos per month. Be smarter than the eye. The eye sees food first and craves the self-food secondly. You have to manipulate the eye and mind and make small pieces of food look great in the dishes and during serving, such as cutting food and serving it in very small dishes and distributing it in the dish. Chewing. It is preferable to reduce the amount of food and modify the amount of food, where the chewing behavior can be followed slowly because this gives a sense of satiety after a short time, and it is preferable not to eat another bite of food in the mouth until after swallowing the previous bite, to give the stomach a chance to absorb the amount of food you need only. Other behaviors. It is always necessary to regularize several minutes before eating the last bites, as this time the stomach needs in order to send slogans to the brain that they got the amount of food you need and no need for more food, as it should be up from the dining table immediately after the feeling of fullness, with the need not to sit more time so that the soul is not tempted to eat more food. Change behavior while shopping. It is always preferable to prepare a list of foods required only and suitable for the new dietary behavior, followed by the distance from foods that contain a lot of salt to avoid high blood pressure, as well as away from sugars and starches as much as possible. Replacing ready-made foods with fresh ones can be eaten, and the closer the diet is to nature, the better for the overall health of the body. Snack before shopping with the need to avoid feeling hungry before going shopping, because if you are hungry you may resort to buying excess foods full of fats, sugars, and sodium. Avoid buying food that is tempting to eat frequently, as it is preferable to have all the purchases of vegetables and fruits, especially those that are low in calories. Changing cooking behavior. Stay away from salt and use the alternative. It is preferable to use onions, garlic, herbs, sailors, lemons, vinegar, and natural flavors such as ginger and soy sauce instead of putting a lot of salt, because salt works to increase weight and high blood pressure, as these things give a distinctive flavor without salt. Stay away from butter and obesity. All these things give a great flavor, but they increase the proportion of cholesterol and diseases in the body, as they are time-dying, may lead arteries and blood vessels, and the best solution is to replace them with herbs and spices to get the same good flavor. Low-fat products. It is preferable to rely on milk, yogurt, and cheese that is low in fat or skim for good. 3. Use low-fat or lean milk products instead of high-fat products. Thank you for watching.